Oh yeah, is it Saturday already? Have we made it through yet another week of Star Wars news? Wow, a new show? Finally, some news that I can get behind. This is just a rumor for now, but Star Wars Pirates is reportedly in the works over at Lucasfilm. We don't know if it's animated, we don't know if it's live action, we don't know what it's going to be about, but we're going to speculate about it today. Also, we got some crazy news about Skeleton Crew just a few days ago, and we actually have some Rey movie news. So many people have been asking me for some Rey movie news for weeks now, and I have some. So without further ado, let's dive into all of it. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing on this fine Saturday afternoon? What's up, chat? I got a good feeling about today's stream. I don't know why. Sometimes you get a good feeling, sometimes you don't. Today, I got a good feeling, okay? I got a good feeling. So I think it's going to be a fun stream today, as we finally have some news about what could be the next Star Wars show. Maybe live action, maybe not, maybe animated, we don't know. But we'll talk about all of it, we'll speculate about all of it, and we'll do it together. So first things first, without further ado. What? Why did it do that? Why did it do that? Let's open up the chat and say hi to everybody, shall we? I don't know why it's doing this. This is not helpful or making me happy at all. Just don't do Why? Why you do this? All right, let's say hi to everybody in the chat, shall we? And Rexer, what is up? Mando United in the house. Fearless, what is up? Brandon Baker, what is up? Officer Murdoch, how we doing? Another Mike who loves Star Wars, what is up? Thomas, how we doing? Starchip66 in the house. Polly Paul, what is up? Cosmic the Cow, great name. How we doing? Anakin, what's up? How we doing? John McGuire, how we doing? Entertainment Fan, what is up? Shadow King, or King Shadow, apologize. How we doing? What is up, everybody? Let's give everybody a nice, just little,
Hello there.
General Kenobi.
Oh, wrong button. Wait, what is going on here? Why is this doing this? Why it doing this? Why is it sending it to this weird-ass platform and not just to my Google Chrome? Open in browser. Why is Google Chrome not my browser that I'm opening it in? All right, hang on, chat. We're having some technical difficulties because this wants to be stupid and wants to do a little, you know? You know? What? A security window? What is going on over here? Okay, I think we got it. We got it. Oh my God. Perfect. Figured it out. We figured it out, chat. We got it. Okay, fine. Without further ado, let's dive into all this news. So, the big thing today is that there's a new Star Wars show. Star Wars Pirates, or at least that's the rumor. This is coming from Production Weekly, who's a company who kind of just releases productions on the weekly. Now, in all seriousness, they actually announce what is going into production fairly soon when it comes to different projects all across the board. So it talks about like the new Harry Potter show that's going into production soon. It talks about the Rey movie, which we'll talk about today. It talks about this Star Wars Pirates. Okay? So we're going to get into it because we just talked about for like 2 hours on Thursday, Skeleton Crew. And from what we've gathered about this Skeleton Crew show, because we know so little about it, it's that it's going to be about pirates. It's going to be about these 4 teenage kids who get lost in this crazy galaxy known as Star Wars, but they're going to be attacked or captured or running away from pirates. It's all going to be about pirates. We saw this image, if I can pull it up right here. We saw this image of all the pirates from this upcoming show right here. Boom. We saw this image. We got, of course, our boy Steve Urkel in Star Wars for the first time. Jaleel White. He is in Star Wars now. We got our boy Vane from The Mandalorian Season 2. We got this guy Brutus. Yeah, Brutus. They're all pirates. So that's going to be the big main thing, is this show is going to focus on pirates. So now they're making a Star Wars show called Star Wars Pirates? Is it just going to be a spin-off of Skeleton Crew? Is it just going to be Skeleton Crew Season 2? Or is it something else? Could it be about Hondo Ohnaka, who could be brought into live action in this Skeleton Crew show, like we talked about on Thursday? There's a lot of questions that come up when we're talking about this Star Wars Pirates show. But before we get to that, let's talk about Skeleton Crew, because this comes out in 2 months, or just about 2 months, a little over 2 months, but 2 months. It releases 2 episodes on December 3rd. So let's talk about this news that we got just a few days ago on Skeleton Crew, and then we'll talk about what this Star Wars Pirates might be, because it could be very well connected to Skeleton Crew, but we just don't know. So let's read this news first, okay? So we got 2 new images for Skeleton Crew a few days ago. One featuring Jude Law's character, Jod Nawood, who might be playing some new kind of Jedi in Star Wars. And another image that I just showed you guys featuring all those pirates. So let's take a gander at this, shall we? Let's take a gander at this, shall we? All right. Oh, that's not helpful. There we go. Okay. Skeleton Crew will feature space pirates in a big way. New photos confirmed. Hang on. We're all over the place today. Let me preface this. The news breaks last night that there's going to be a Star Wars Pirates show. It's reportedly in the works at Lucasfilm, and that makes people go to Google and Google Star Wars Pirates. The problem is, the day before yesterday, so 2 days ago, this news that we're about to read about Skeleton Crew was released. So whenever you look up Star Wars Pirates, what comes up? Skeleton Crew. This was one of 2 things. One, a genius move by Lucasfilm to cover up their tracks of this Star Wars Pirates show, because they probably knew it was going to get leaked out that there was going to be this mysterious Star Wars Pirates show that they're working on behind the scenes. And it could have been a genius move to talk about pirates, release images of pirates when it comes to Skeleton Crew, to cover up the fact that they're making a new show all about pirates. Or 2, it was just a crazy coincidence. I actually believe that it's probably the first one, or more likely going to be the first one, that they're covering their tracks, trying to keep it a secret that this Star Wars Pirates show is in development over at Lucasfilm. But right now, I'll prove it to you. Right now, if you go online and look up Star Wars Pirates, this is what comes up. Skeleton Crew co-creator says the show is inspired by classic pirates. Entertainment Weekly's thing, exclusive photos of the pirates. Jaleel White is in Star Wars as a pirate. Pirate. Skeleton Crew. It's all about the Skeleton Crew. So this could just be a crazy cover-up by Lucasfilm to try to stop people from talking about this new pirate show, because if you look it up, it doesn't exist. Tells you pirates on Wikipedia. Of course, Reddit has it. Reddit's got the new pirate project. But Hondo Ohnaka, pirates, no one's talking about it except for, of course, Reddit, as always. But the news is covering it up, so to speak. So keep that in mind as we read this. New photos from Skeleton Crew and quotes from the showrunners were released today via Entertainment Weekly as a part of a publication's fall TV preview. With it, Lucasfilm wants to convey one message. Pirates may have been featured in Star Wars throughout the years, but they will play a major role in the new series starring Jude Law. So Lucasfilm wants to convey one message. Pirates are in the show. 24 hours later, let's announce a show called Star Wars Pirates. Or at least, let's accidentally announce a show called Star Wars Pirates. Coincidence? I think not. Let's keep reading. That's what we can gather from writer Christopher Ford's statement in EU as he says this. Those are pirates, space pirates. Pirates are talked about so much in Star Wars. People would call Han Solo a pirate, but he'd be like, how dare you? So we've seen some awesome pirates in the animated shows. Hondo Ohnaka, we'll get to in a second. But this was something where both executive producers Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau were really excited to do more pirate stuff. So pirates are our main focus in the Skeleton Crew show, obviously. That's been made clear. But when we talk about pirates, there's really only one name that comes to mind for most Star Wars fans who've seen Rebels and the Clone Wars, and that is Hondo Ohnaka. Now, on Thursday's stream, we talked about the possibility of seeing Hondo in live action for the first time in this upcoming Skeleton Crew show, and I do think that is still very likely. Actually, I'm going to put up a poll in the chat right now because I want to, okay? Okay, so if you haven't smashed a freaking like on this stream yet, I don't know what the hell you're waiting for. Smash a freaking like on this stream! Sorry. Sometimes I get a little ahead of myself, you know? Okay. Do you think Hondo Ohnaka will be in Skeleton Crew? Yes or no? What do we think, chat? Will Hondo Ohnaka finally make the leap to live action in the Skeleton Crew show? What do we think? Oh, did I miss a super chat? What the hell? Darth Plagueis lives with a very generous $2 holla. God damn. Very generous. Says, I want to see Maz, or how Maz gets Luke's lightsaber. And hello. What's up, Plagueis? Yeah. We're going to get into what this pirate show could be about. How Maz Kanata could play a big role in it. And yeah, I would love to see how Maz Kanata gets Luke's lightsaber as well. That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. And of course, super chats. Keep the lights on over here. I appreciate it. And if you send in any amount of super chat, you can make me do whatever Star Wars impression you'd like. Whether it be good or bad, I will do it nonetheless. And memberships, of course, we got a giveaway coming next week. Next week is the last week of the month, I believe. So there'll be a giveaway next week. If you are not a member, it's only 99 cents at the lowest tier. Go find 99 cents in your couch cushion, on the streets, wherever you can find it, and become a member because we got a big giveaway coming next week. So, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. And yeah, I really do hope we get to see Maz Kanata get Luke Skywalker's lightsaber as well. Okay. So, yeah, it seems like we're all sort of the same mind right here, that we think that Hondo Ohnaka, the pirate, when you think of pirates in Star Wars, could be making his live-action debut in Skeleton Crew. As 96 or 95% of you guys agree. You want to see, or you think, I should say, Hondo Ohnaka will be in Ahsoka. Let's try that again. Will be in the Skeleton Crew show. And I agree with that. Thank you for the hearts, guys. I appreciate it. That's very, very nice. I appreciate it. All right, let's keep reading, shall we? He also explains why the era in which the show is set is concurrent with the Mando-verse series after the destruction of the second Death Star and before the rise of the First Order, known as the New Republic era, but also known as the Mando-verse. Let's be honest. So, this is what he also says. With the era we are in, we kind of get to play with the lawless thing. The Empire is gone, and so we're playing with the part of the galaxy that has a resurgence of piracy. So without order in the galaxy, without the order of the Empire, even though they were the bad guys, they were still technically order. Now you have the New Republic that doesn't really span across the entire galaxy. They have control probably over the core worlds, but not the Outer Rim by any means. We've seen that very clearly in The Mandalorian's first 3 seasons, in Book of Boba Fett, in Ahsoka. So pirates are kind of doing their own thing, doing whatever they want in the Outer Rim. Yeah. The Hondo-verse. Empire Films, what's up? One of these pictures... one of those pirates, is called Gunter. So I've seen Gunther and Gunter. I think it's Gunter with just a T. And maybe it's just an autocorrect thing because Gunter is not a name, but Gunther is. I don't know. But I think it's Gunter. Will be played by Jaleel White right there. Our boy Steve Urkel. Other characters confirmed today are Brutus, this guy right here, voiced by Frank. Come on, Frank. Big Frank, we're just going to go with, because I'm not even going to try. And he's played by Stephen O. Young, under the mask, I believe. Pax, who is this nice eye patch, 3-eye looking sexy beast right there. Played by Mike, and embodied by Dale. And Monty is back as Vane. This guy, or Marty, sorry, is back as Vane from Mando Season 2. One of the pirates who made their debut in The Mandalorian Season 3, seen in the picture below. So, there you go. There you go. John Watts, who co-writes with Christopher Ford and directs multiple episodes of the show, explains how much he enjoyed the freedom of working for Lucasfilm under Dave Filoni. He said this: "What's great about working for Lucasfilm is that they'll let you know if you've gone outside the boundaries. Dave Filoni's kind of the goalkeeper." Now, we talked about this on Thursday. Dave Filoni's new role as Chief Creative Officer and how that sort of plays into how each project gets created. He's the goalkeeper, as John Watts puts it here. So he's in charge of everything, but he's not creating everything. He's not writing every individual episode. He's not directing every individual episode. He's just overseeing all of it. And we already read all this last time, so we'll leave it there. The first episode of Skeleton Crew will hit Disney Plus on December 3rd. The series will star Jude Law as Jod Nawood, and Wim and Fern and KB, and of course Neil and SM33 and all those others. So yeah, that's the whole gist. That was the big news we talked about on Thursday. We've kind of went over this already, but that is the news that is covering up the news we're talking today. The new Star Wars show that's going to be called Star Wars Pirates. So let's talk about where this comes from. That comes from Production Weekly. So Production Weekly releases these issues once a week, I believe. Yeah, once a week. This was last week's. This is this week's. And this one comes from 2 days ago, I guess, or yesterday. 2 days ago. 2024, September 19th. And it has 114 listings, I believe. Yeah, something like that. So this is the current issue. And of course, I highlighted the 2 Star Wars projects that are existing on this thing. When you look around, you see projects like Harry Potter, Clayface. Like, these are just things that are going to be in production very soon. Alice in the Palace. I'm guessing that's some sort of Christmas caroling? I wonder if that's Christmas Carol. You look around. What else we got? Spider-Man Noir. There's been some news about that recently. An untitled horror thing. All these things at the bottom are just untitled. Wonka 2. There you go. That's going to go into production soon. But the 2 big ones here are Star Wars projects. And that is Star Wars New Jedi Order and Star Wars Pirates. So let's zoom in on that because it's freaking tiny. There you go. Star Wars New Jedi Order is the Rey movie. Now, somebody brought this up in a comment section when I posted this on the Twitter, and that was asking, is this the real title of the Rey movie? Because it hasn't been confirmed by Lucasfilm themselves. But no, it's not. I mean, as far as we're aware, it's not. But it is the working title. Usually films get working titles. We were led to believe that the Mandalorian and Grogu movie's working title was The Mandalorian and Grogu. Come to find out that it's the actual title of the film. And that will release on May 22nd, 2026. This is the working title for the Rey movie. New Jedi Order, that is. I would not be surprised if this is the actual title of the movie. New Jedi Order makes sense. It is about the new Jedi Order after the sequel trilogy. It's a good title, honestly. New Jedi Order gets the point across. It's a very Star Wars-y title. And I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it. Tell me what you think in the chat. Are we opposed to the title New Jedi Order? Do we like it? Do we not like it? What do we think? It's most likely going to remain the title of the movie. But right now, it is the working title. We do have some news about the Rey movie we'll get to later on in the stream, but I want to talk about this. Star Wars Pirates. Because this is where it first showed up. This was the first appearance of this project, because it doesn't exist, at least as far as we're aware. This is the first place that this has ever shown up. Nobody knew Star Wars projects was a thing. Nobody thought it was going to be. Nobody predicted it. It's like Skeleton Crew. It's like The Acolyte. Nobody knew it was coming. It's like Andor back when it was announced, or Mando back when that was announced. Nobody knew that these shows existed until they get announced. And this is how this leaks out. On Production Weekly, there's Star Wars Pirates. Now let's talk speculation here. As far as I'm aware, and I don't know many of the projects on this list, but from what I see, is Spider-Man Noir going to be a live-action thing? I'm not too sure. But I believe that all of these are live-action projects. I'm not too sure. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think they're all live-action projects. Peaky Blinders movie. There you go. Just based off of names, I don't know if any of these are animated. I don't know. It's hard to tell whether or not this is going to be a live action or an animated project. I don't know. Is Daredevil on there? I didn't even see it. Daredevil Born Again. There you go. Daredevil Born Again 2, because I think there's going to be a second season of that, but I could be wrong. But yeah, Daredevil Born Again is coming out next year. So Star Wars Pirates. Let's get back to this. We don't know if it's going to be live action or not. We don't know. We have no clue. But we know, based off the title, that it's going to be about pirates, clearly. Now, there was a rumor a few months ago. Give me a 1 into the chat if you remember this. There was a rumor a few months ago that there was going to be that there is an animated Star Wars show in the works over at Lucasfilm. This is not a big surprise. We knew that this was coming. The Bad Batch ended earlier this year. We knew that there was going to be something to replace the Bad Batch as the next live-action Star Wars project. That's not a big surprise. It's just not. However, is Star Wars Pirates that project? Because that's not at all what we were expecting. We were thinking maybe we'll get a Luke Skywalker Jedi Temple show that's animated with Luke, Leia, and Han. Maybe we'll get a Hidden Path show with Asajj Ventress. Maybe, just maybe, we'll get a Clone Rebellion show with Captain Rex and Commander Cody. No. It's Star Wars Pirates. If that's the case, if it is the animated show we've been waiting for, then this might be the title. This might be what it's about. And when you think of pirates, yet again, you think of Hondo Ohnaka. So what time period will this show take place in? It makes the most sense that it will take place in the Mando-verse for a few reasons. One, we just talked about Skeleton Crew and how there's this resurgence in piracy in the galaxy during the New Republic era or the Mando-verse era. After the original trilogy, before the sequel trilogy. And let's be honest, guys, other than Andor Season 2, everything else that is currently slated to release from Star Wars is coming out in the Mando-verse time period. It seems to be the main focus. It has been the main focus for the last 5 years. The Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, Ahsoka, Skeleton Crew, they all take place in this Mando-verse time period. And now we have a Mando movie, Ahsoka Season 2, this possible Star Wars Pirates show. It seems like the main focus right now for storytelling in Star Wars is in this New Republic era, whether you like it or not, because some fans want to go completely away from it, completely away from the Skywalker saga, that is. Or some fans like to stay in the Skywalker saga. That fully depends. But with this Star Wars Pirates show, whether it's animated or not, it's still most likely going to take place in this New Republic era because of the emphasis in the article we just read on the resurgence in piracy, the resurgence of pirates being around because the Empire is not, and the New Republic's not that powerful. So it makes the most sense that the show takes place in the Mando-verse. So with that in mind, the Mando-verse time period, pirates, got it. What's this show going to be about? Who is this show going to be about? We mentioned Hondo Ohnaka, but let's not forget the lady who's at the forefront of the thumbnail of today's video, Maz Kanata. Ring a bell? Maz Kanata, first introduced in The Force Awakens back in 2015. This character, let me pull her up. Maz Kanata. This little friend of Han Solo's over here. Let's pull her up. Maz Kanata. Oh, my head's in the way. Remember her? She is known as, quote unquote, the queen of the pirates. A little unknown fact about Maz Kanata, she's 1,000 years old. She's 1,000 years old. So you thought Yoda was old in the original trilogy, because he was. He was only 800. Just about 800. So Maz is even older than Master Yoda. So she's been around for quite a while, but she's known as the queen of the pirates. Now there's a little bit of pirates going on in The Force Awakens from the people who need money from Han Solo. We talked about them a little bit on Thursday. But there's not that many pirates. Only Maz Kanata and her cantina is sort of any reference to pirates in the sequel trilogy, because mostly it's about the First Order, the Resistance, all that stuff. But pirates in the New Republic era seem to be very prevalent, as we're going to learn, not only from The Mandalorian, but from Skeleton Crew coming up, and hopefully a Star Wars Pirates show. Now, with Maz, you would tie in not only to the sequel trilogy, but to Luke Skywalker and how she got, like Darth Plagueis sent in a very generous super chat earlier, how she got Luke's lightsaber. Because that's a very big unanswered question from the sequel trilogy. Now, you might be saying, Mike, it's already been answered in comics, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we know. But I'm talking in live action. Now, if this show truly does take place in the Mando-verse time period, is about Maz Kanata and maybe even Hondo, because let's be honest, Maz and Hondo on the same screen, those two characters would work so well together. So well! Because Hondo can really make friends with anybody because he's kind of just a backstabbing, awesome character. But Maz has that sort of personality where the two of them on screen together would be amazing. But them, pirates, we don't really know what a plot of the show would be, but let's just go with this premise. New Republic era, Mando-verse time period, pirates in Star Wars, Hondo Ohnaka, Maz Kanata, how they're affected by Thrawn, the remnant of the Empire, the First Order rising to power, how Maz got Luke's lightsaber, how Hondo's story plays out in this new time period. Is that not something that you would want to see? So I'm going to put up a new poll in the chat. Let's see you, chat. Where are we at? Do you want to see this? Is this a show that interests you? A Star Wars Pirates show, whether it be live action or animated. Is this something you want to see? Is this something you've been waiting for? Tell me in the chat. And let's start up a poll. Do you want Star Wars Pirates? Yes or no? Yes or no? And by the way, 87% of you, the math is not mathing, 87% of you guys do want Hondo Ohnaka in Skeleton Crew, which is pretty cool. Or do think he's going to be in it. I agree with that too. Yes, please. Aaron says, the idea doesn't particularly excite me, but I would totally watch it. That's the thing. Many Star Wars fans have been begging, pleading for their own favorite Star Wars projects, whether that's a young Palpatine show, or whether that's Acolyte Season 2, or a Vader show, or a New Republic show, or a High Republic show, or an Old Republic show, whatever you want. Fans have been wanting their own favorite characters to get their shows. Nobody's really asking for a Star Wars Pirates show. Now, that's not always a bad thing. When you look at, like, The Mandalorian, no one was asking for a Mando show, and yet we got it, and it's incredible. No one was really asking for Andor. No, literally no one was asking for Andor, and yet we got it, and it's incredible. So now the question becomes, should Lucasfilm just give us what we want? If fans are asking for a young Palpatine show, should we just get that? Or should they just keep doing what they're doing? Because what they're doing seems to be working. I think there's sort of a balance between both of these things that can be had, where you can be giving fans what they want with stuff like a young Palpatine show, while also giving them stuff that they didn't expect or think they know they want, if that makes sense. Yeah. Hodges says, pirates would work with bounty hunters and Maz Kanata, etc. So much potential. Yeah, I mean, pirates, bounty hunters, they kind of coexist and are parallel to each other. We'll put it that way. Obviously, pirates aren't bounty hunters. They're not working for a bounty, but they work together as a group of pirates and do very similar things to what bounty hunters do. They steal a lot of people's money and work for themselves, while bounty hunters work for others, but they look very similar. They do very similar things by stealing people's money and stealing people or killing people. So it would be a very good through line from pirates to bounty hunters where you could see a lot of familiar faces. And being that it would take place most likely in the Outer Rim, you'd involve Boba and him reigning over Tatooine. Pirates would probably be involved in that as well. Absolutely. Yeah. J1, what's up, Jay, says, I think this show could be a good idea. I think so too. Obviously, it fully depends on execution. It fully depends on when it takes place, whether it's animated or live action. All right, that's the next question for you, chat. With this Star Wars pirate show, because we know so little about it, do you want it to be animated or do you want it to be live action? What do we think, chat? Live action or animated? And by the way, 90% of you, more than 90% of you, want this show, which is very cool. In Lucasfilm, if you're watching, and we know that you are, if this is real, if this is true, if this is something that you didn't really want to get out, this is good. Because all I've seen is pretty much 90+% positive reactions to this news. Because it hasn't really been like a big news headline. Obviously, we Google Star Wars pirates, it doesn't even come up. But it hasn't really been a topic of conversation. But when it is, when people are talking about it, it seems to be on the positive side. Most people do want to see it. Yeah. Live action, animated, both? How could it be both at the same time? Come on. Live action. Interesting. I prefer live action, but they're lacking in animation now. Well, the question becomes, if it's not animated, if this is not their next animated show, then what is? That's what leads me to believe that this is an animated one. Because right now, the Bad Batch is over. We know this. We watched it. We cried. We laughed. We cheered. We applauded. We watched the Bad Batch Season 3. It was spectacular. But it's over. And now there's no Star Wars animation coming. Maybe a Tales of the Jedi Season 2. Maybe a Tales of the Empire Season 2. But I'm talking a full-on animated multiple season show. It just doesn't exist unless this pirate show is that. A whole show about Hondo Ohnaka? A whole show about Maz Kanata? A whole show about pirates in general? It's an interesting route to go down. We'll put it that way. A character like Din Djarin is a main character in Star Wars now. A character like Andor, he's a main character of at least Rogue One, a Star Wars movie. To make a full-on show about Star Wars pirates. I understand pirates exist in Star Wars all the time. They've been around since the original trilogy. But to focus on them for an entire show is big. And I don't know if it's big in a good way or bad. Tales of the Pirates. It's not Tales of the Pirates. Because if it was Tales of the Pirates, we'd be talking about it being Tales of the Pirates. The name of it would be, in Production Weekly, Tales of the Pirates. But it's not. It's Star Wars Pirates. The name of an actual Star Wars show. Yeah. I wouldn't mind a Tales of the Pirates, but that's not what we're talking about, you know? Oh, Darth Raccoonar with a very generous $2 holla. First ever super chat. I appreciate that, Darth Raccoon. Says, hi, Mike. I request an As Morgan impression. Okay. You know what? Okay. I'll do it. Because you so generously sent in the very nice super chat. I appreciate it. But I'm not going to like it. Here we go. As Morgan. Rebels. As Morgan's an underrated character, okay? He's a handsome looking fella. But underrated nonetheless.
You robbed me. Oh, I will enjoy this. I get to collect on...
There's our boy. He could be getting his own freaking show. He could be getting his own show. And he also could be coming into live action in Skeleton Crew as well.
Ohnaka, I get to kill you, and I get to keep the 5 generators. All of them, 5 crates. Wait, there are only 4 crates here. You were supposed to bring me...
Okay, I think that's enough. Let me rewind this.
Robbed me. Oh, I will enjoy this. I get to collect...
You robbed me. Oh, I will enjoy this. You get to...
Dan Ohnaka, I get to kill you, and I get to keep the 5 generators.
I get to kill you, and I get to keep the 5 generators. I don't know. I like As Morgan. I like him a lot. That's a great a great super chat. I appreciate it, Darth Raccoonar. I really, really do. That's very, very generous. First ever super chat. That's muchly appreciated. It really is. I appreciate it. Okay. Where was I? I need to see a cast and a trailer before any Fs will be given. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's kind of hard when you don't know anything about this project. Star Wars Pirates, that is. It's hard when you really just... Thank you, by the way, chat. I see you applauding my impression. And guess what? All my impressions are that good. You want to find out? Send a super chat. I dare you. I dare you. Double dog dare you. But yeah, it's hard to talk about a show, to predict a show, when we don't know anything about it, except for its name, Star Wars Pirates. So we can predict pirates, which is Hondo Ohnaka, Maz Kanata, the queen of the pirates, but we don't know anything else. You know? We don't know anything else. Gorian Shard Jones? What? Gorian Salad Shard What? Pirates do deal with Lando, too. Yeah, that's true. You could involve Lando in that show as well. When you have a character like Lando, who's already been recast as Donald Glover, fans seem to like Donald Glover as the character. When you have a character like that, he's already getting his own movie, first of all. You have the ability to bring him in different spots. Now, we talk about the controversy of recast versus deepfake all the time on this channel. All the time. Especially when it comes to the original trio. Luke, Leia, and Han. Han's already been recast in the Solo movie. We've already watched it. We've already seen it happen. So is Lando. But Leia has been deepfaked in Rogue One and in Rise of Skywalker. Luke has been deepfaked in The Mandalorian Season 2 and in the Book of Boba Fett. So it's likely, if we are going to see those characters again in this Mando-verse, they will be deepfaked. Now, with that being said, Lando, if we see him again in the Mando-verse, would he be Donald? Or would he be deepfaked? If there's a pirate show, I'm sure Lando and Hondo would be in the show. I think Lando might have some sort of connection to the show, for sure. But would it be Donald or would it be deepfake? That begs the question. Because we got stories to tell with these original trio. But do you de-age Billy D. Williams, like another Mike who loves Star Wars says in the chat? Or do you just bring in Donald? What do we think, chat? Andor is a beast. Andor is awesome. I'm rewatching it right now still. I'm slowly rewatching it. I'm not really watching much television lately. But I'm slowly rewatching it, and it still holds up. It's still so damn good. Oh, yeah. Actually, let's celebrate a little bit. 2 years ago today, Andor Season 1 dropped. And also, 2 years ago today, I started live streaming. So for all of you here today, I appreciate all of you so much more than you will ever know. All of our live streaming records that we have on this channel, it all started 2 years ago today. Absolutely wild. Because the first thing we talked about on live streams was the Andor show. The first 3 episodes of Andor. So we've come quite a long way from having 0 people watch me 3 times a week to over 40 people currently watching at least 3 times a week. So I appreciate you guys so much. But yes, 2 years ago today, we started live streaming. And 2 years ago today, Andor premiered. So celebrate a little bit. It is getting so hot down here. Okay. Aaron says, exactly. I thought the show surrounding Andor would be pointless, and now it's one of the best of the best. So I'm totally open to new projects that I didn't ask for. Yeah, that's kind of the concern. It's like when they announce a project like Star Wars Pirates, you're like, what the hell is that? But then you remember, you said the same thing about Andor. You said the same thing about The Mandalorian. And here we are now. So. Another Mike who loves Star Wars, great name, says, TIDF. Trust in Dave Filoni. I like In Dave We Trust. IDF. WT. Or WWFD. What would Filoni do? I like it. Fearless says, don't give fans what they want. Just look what happened when they gave us Plagueis. I don't know. That's a whole nother conversation to have. I think The Acolyte is the perfect example of that, actually, of not giving the fans what they want and it not really going well for Lucasfilm. Because they gave fans something new, like The Mandalorian, like Andor, with The Acolyte. And it wasn't really accepted well by the Star Wars fandom, we'll put it lightly. Some fans, myself included, really enjoyed the show, really enjoyed the characters, really enjoyed the new world in Star Wars. And, of course, seeing Plagueis. But it divided the fandom quite a bit. And it was a new idea for a show. So, yeah. RG says, I don't really want a pirate show. What's the point of it? I want more Force users in my shows. Interesting. Again, we don't know the purpose or time period that this show will take place. But you could have said the same thing about Andor or The Mandalorian. Now, going into The Mandalorian, you had no idea that Grogu was going to be in it. Now you do. But going in, you were like, it's just a Mandalorian. It's just a bounty hunter. A show about a bounty hunter? How? I want some lightsabers. I want some Force. And you could say the same thing about Andor. Andor's the least feel like Star Wars, but also feels like Star Wars at the same time because it doesn't have Force, it doesn't have Sith, it doesn't have Jedi, it doesn't have lightsabers. But at the same time, it's Star Wars. And it's some of the best Star Wars we've ever seen. So it's a hard conversation to have, you know? Yeah, no? Happy Andor-versary. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay. Yeah. Oh, just scroll down to the bottom. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Jason, what's up? Says hello there. Could Star Wars Pirates be about Maul and the Crimson Dawn? No. I mean, if they were going to make a Maul show about the Crimson Dawn, it wouldn't be called Star Wars Pirates. It would probably be called, like, the Crimson Dawn or just Maul or anything else. And Maul and the Crimson Dawn aren't pirates, so no. Sadly, no. But if you want to make a Maul show, Lucasfilm, I think a lot of people would watch that. Just letting you know. Yeah. The Adventures of Ezra and Hondo. Here's the thing. When you talk about making a show, especially in the Mando-verse, it has to tie into everything. So what's the purpose of making a Star Wars pirate show? What's the purpose? What's the end goal with creating a show like that? Now, first things first, you could look at it this way. You come off the backs of, if it is an animated show, you're coming off the backs of the Clone Wars and the Bad Batch. But the Clone Wars, because the Bad Batch is pretty much just a season 8, 9, 10 of Clone Wars. You're coming off the backs of Clone Wars shows about the clones. Literally cannon fodder for a war run by the Separatists versus the Republic. It's a show about the clones. Now, it's a show, obviously, about Anakin and Obi-Wan and Ahsoka, but you learn to love these clones. You learn to love Rex and Cody and all Hauser, and you feel a connection to the characters that were just once cannon fodder. Then you look at Rebels. Now, Rebels is something similar. It's a deeper dive into the war between the Rebellion and the Empire, and you learn to love these characters that you didn't even know existed. These rebels that just don't have any real sway towards the main story of the original trilogy. So what if this attempt is what's the next clones? When you're looking at it from a board perspective, from a creative perspective, trying to come up with the next Clone Wars, how do you do that? What characters do you focus on next? You went from clones to rebels, back to clones again. What's next? Well, Star Wars has always had pirates in it. Let's just do pirates. There's some big pirates. Hondo, the queen of the pirates, Maz Kanata. You can bring in some great characters if you put it in the right spot in the timeline. If it really takes place in this Mando-verse, you can involve characters like Boba Fett, Din Djarin, Luke Skywalker, Lando, Han Solo. You can involve those characters because they have They have running-ins with pirates. They have run-ins with pirates. It's sort of what's next for Star Wars animation, and pirates might have just been the best idea. I don't know. I still think the best idea would have been a Luke Skywalker Jedi Temple show, but that's just kind of when I think of what's the idea behind this idea, what's the origin of the idea, that makes the most sense to me. You know? Tales of the Blank. I'm hoping Tales of the Jedi Season 2. If we can get a Tales of the something, I'm hoping Tales of the Jedi Season 2. But Tales of the Bounty Hunters, of course, would be awesome. Tales of the Sith would be awesome. Because now, with Tales of the Sith, you could tell the story of Chimera and Plagueis. And continue that story. Yeah. Tales of the Pirates definitely wouldn't be PG, LOL. It could be. I mean, we see Hondo Ohnaka in the Clone Wars, and that's technically PG. Technically. Lando with Glover in the Hondo-verse? Damn, just do it. Well, that would make the show be live action, if it is live action. Yeah. Anthony, what's up, says, hey, Mike. I actually managed to catch one of these live streams. I'm absolutely interested in a Star Wars Pirates animated series, or is it live action? Skeleton Crew links? Well, yeah, it has to have Skeleton Crew links if it is, because we just talked about how important pirates are going to be in the Skeleton Crew show. They're going to be the main foes or the main villains of this Skeleton Crew series. Jude Law, his character, Jod Na Nawood, might be a Jedi pirate. He might just be. So, yeah, it's going to have some connections to Skeleton Crew one way or another. Hopefully, Hondo Ohnaka is that connection, or Maz Kanata is that connection, as hopefully both of them will be in both shows. But we'll have to wait and see. Yeah. Yeah. Stay Calm says, Pirates of the Galaxy, just give all the money to Andor. Well, Andor did get quite a bit of money. That's for damn sure. Andor Season 1, I think, was like $280 million. Double the budget of Skeleton Crew. Yeah, so Andor did get all the money. It is a 12-episode series, and it is fantastic, but it did cost quite a bit. Yeah. Yeah. Aaron says, just bring in Donald. It's easier, and he does the job quite good. Yeah, I mean, he is really good as Lando. I wouldn't mind him being Lando, a young Lando, for just the rest of time. I would fully be behind that. But we'll have to wait and see, I guess. I've seen Andor over a dozen times. Damn. That's a lot of times. Well, that's a lot of times. Fearless says, Crimson Dawn is a crime syndicate, like the Pikes, not pirates. Yes, exactly. Oh, and going back to connecting things. So if this Star Wars Pirates show takes place in the Mando-verse, it has to connect to everything else. Obviously, Hondo has a very strong connection to the Rebels crew, as we see him quite a bit in Star Wars Rebels. But the pirates could connect to many different things. If Maz Kanata's involved, that's a direct connection to the sequel trilogy, but not only that, it's a direct connection to Han Solo. Han Solo knows Maz, like personally. They know each other for a long time. So if we get a pirate show about Maz Kanata, about Hondo Ohnaka, there's your two connections to not only the Rebels crew, but also to Luke, Leia, and Han. To Han frickin' Solo. How did Maz and him have a relationship before? Why does Han take Rey and BB-8 to Maz Kanata instead of his own wife or ex-wife, whatever you want to call it? So that connection could be drawn there too. Honestly, the more and more I think about it, the more and more we talk about it, a Star Wars pirate show would be extremely intriguing, and I hope it happens. I hope it does happen. I hope this is not just some usually Production Weekly is not wrong. These shows are in production or going into production at some point, and this makes sense for them. Just why would they lie at that point, you know? You know? Haja says, I prefer Jod to be a Force user, but not aligned with the Jedi or Sith practices. Must all Force users be Jedi? No. But we talked about this a little bit on Thursday. The fact that Jude Law's character is going to be a new kind of Jedi. Now, what does that mean? A new kind of Jedi? Just a pirate Jedi? Does he wield the Force in a different way? I think people use the word Jedi so loosely because they're just referring to a Force user. They're referring to a Force user, but they're trying to refer to a Force user. But if you said Sith, it would just make you think of Sith. It would just make you think of bad guys. When you say Jedi, you think of usually a good guy. And we're led to believe that Jod Nawood is going to be a good guy in this Skeleton Crew series. Yeah. Yeah. John, what's up? Says getting here late. Just getting here. Yes, I'm late, but not the dead kind of late. What? What does that even mean? Okay. I've seen Andor like 30, 40 times. I know it by heart. Jesus. But it took me a while to get there. The first time I saw it, I thought it was boring. I must agree. I mean, if you go back and find my first live stream, I probably talked about how I liked the first 3 episodes of Andor, but I thought they were slow. Andor starts off slow. It does. It grows. But by the time it's Aldani, by the time it's One Way Out, by the time it's Marva's speech at the end of the show, you're like, damn! This show's insane. But yeah, it does start on a slower because it's the first 3 episodes is really just Cassian looking for his sister, which, by the way, is he ever going to find his sister? But he's looking for his sister, and then it's all the flashbacks to when he was growing up on what's the planet? What planet did Cassian grow up on? It's somebody in the chat help me out. Yeah. But yeah, so it's all those. Bit my tongue. Son of a.
I got a bad feeling about this.
It's Flash. Kanari. Yes, thank you. Kanari. It's flashbacks to Kanari in all those like flashback sequences. So it's a little bit slow of a start, but once you get into it, you're hooked immediately. Yeah. Jod is unpredictable. Jude Law has implied this in many different interviews. Yeah. We're led to believe that Jod is the hero of this story, but I don't know if he is. He's going to be like a Han Solo type of character. You can't really trust him, you know? Yeah, no? Andor's a slow burn, but it's so worth the commitment. Yeah, it is. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the other Star Wars project that is on this Production Weekly list, shall we? And that is Star Wars New Jedi Order. Now, we don't know if this is the working title or the actual title of the movie yet, but we do have some news when it comes to the Rey movie. Finally. It seems like since it was announced over a year and a half ago at at Star Wars Celebration in 2023, and Daisy Ridley came back on stage, and they were like, Charmin Obed-Chinoy is going to be directing it, and Stephen Knight is going to be writing it, and all that. Like, we haven't gotten any updates since then. Pretty much 0 updates. But now we have some. And honestly, I don't know whether to believe these or not. This is coming from Daniel RPK, who usually is a pretty good source. He's been wrong before, obviously, as most of us have. But he usually is good when it comes down to it. But honestly, let's just talk about it. The new Jedi Order movie, starring Daisy Ridley as Rey, reportedly needs more work and is now on hold and is not expected to film until 2025. Now, this is a little bit misleading. Quite a bit misleading, I should say. Because, first of all, we weren't expecting it to film this year. The Mandalorian and Grogu movie's filming right now. And it won't be done until the end of this year. So it'll be 2025 before the Rey movie has any chance to begin filming. So this isn't really, it's not a delay at all. It's not a hold at all. It's still, of course, being worked on, but it's not on hold. Originally, it's supposed to film in 2025. So I don't know if this is real or not real, but I don't know if this is accurate, I should say. I'm sure it does need more work. I'm sure the script is still being rewritten and revitalized and all that stuff. But it will begin filming in 2025. That hasn't changed. Next year, it will start filming. Now, the question becomes, is it still going to come out in December of 2026? Because if not, then what happens? Here's the thing. When it comes to movies, release dates are set. And they're usually pretty set in stone. Unless some writer strike or actor strike or pandemic happens, then they're usually pretty set in stone. Maybe they'll vary by a week or two, but not anything drastic. When it comes to Star Wars shows, we've seen delays quite a bit. Now, the Mandalorian and Grogu movie comes out on May 22nd, 2026. That's for sure. It's going to happen. That's 100% going down. There's an untitled Star Wars film scheduled to release on December 17th of 2026. 6 months after the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. So the question now becomes, is this Rey movie still going to make that slot? If it starts filming next year, let's say on the good side, it starts filming at the beginning of 2025, sorry. Is it going to have enough time to film, to go through post-production, to make it to its release at the end of 2026? I think if it starts filming at the very beginning of 2025, it will. But if it's pushed back to mid-2025 or late 2025, there's no way. There's no possible way that they could get a good-looking, high-quality Star Wars movie out in time. So this possible delay or needs more work on the new Jedi Order movie, it could make things quite interesting. The Dawn of the Jedi movie is nowhere close to being ready. That's just not even close. James Mangold, who is working on that, he's not actively working on it. He's doing other projects right now. We'll put it that way. He's doing other things right now. Star Wars is not at the forefront of his importance list. So this news is not, it's surprising, but it's not that surprising. The only problem becomes, will it make its release date requirements? Or will this untitled Star Wars movie set to release in 2026 just not happen? I don't know. It's interesting. It is interesting, and that is sort of the news when it comes to this Rey movie, because, I mean, yes, it's still being worked on, but it's not really on hold, because we were expecting it to film in 2025. It's not going to start filming in the next 2 months, 3 months. Mandalorian and Grogu is still filming right now. Yeah, it's interesting. Interesting. Yeah. Sorry. Ian, what's up, says, wait, no Acolyte, but we're going to get some sheet about pirates? Yeah. That has been a common thing I've seen online as well. People who want Acolyte Season 2 being like, we're not getting Acolyte Season 2, but you're going to give us a show about pirates? It's a valid complaint. But yeah. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's good, and hopefully we still get an Acolyte Season 2, you know? New Jedi Order is stuck in script development still. It's at a snail's pace. Well, that also comes with Stephen Knight's schedule. So Stephen Knight is the writer for this new Jedi Order movie, but he's also working on a Peaky Blinders movie. He's the guy who wrote all the Peaky Blinders show. So Peaky Blinders, if you don't know, is a show about the Peaky Blinders. I mean, it's about this sort of gang, for lack of a better word. And they... Jeez, what is Peaky Blinders about? Horse racing. It's a great show, okay? I just can't describe it for some reason. But Peaky Blinders is probably one of my top 3 shows of all time. It's that good. So Stephen Knight being the name attached to the Rey movie really excites me. And it gives me hope that this Rey movie could be extremely good. But he's currently writing the Peaky Blinders movie. Peaky Blinders, I think, is 5 seasons, 4 or 5 seasons. And it ended a couple of years ago. But now they're making a Peaky Blinders movie to kind of put the sort of final ribbon on it and end the story. But that movie is still in development. Actually, that movie is also on this Production Weekly list right here. Peaky Blinders. Peaky Blinders movie. So that's also on this list. Oh, sorry, you guys can't see that. Peaky Blinders movie right there. So that's also on this list. So Stephen Knight is a pretty busy guy trying to write, because he's also writing and directing the Peaky Blinders movie. So he's a busy guy working on that Peaky Blinders movie that he doesn't have enough time to sort of work on the Rey movie at the same time. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with this Rey movie, how production is going to be sort of, how it's going to move forward, especially with Stephen Knight being so busy, being a busy man. It'll be interesting. But while we're at it, talking Stephen Knight and how awesome he is, can I get some good cups follow orders in the chat, please? Bumpa. Damn. Talk about a good cup. Okay. JC, what's up, says, what would you want, Mike? Live action or animated for the Star Wars Pirates show? It depends. It depends for a few reasons. One, if it is, well, put it this way. If it is animated, that means there's no Luke Skywalker Jedi Temple show. And I would much rather a Luke Skywalker Jedi Temple show. But if it is animated, it could be really cool. I would probably prefer live action. Because if it is going to involve Hondo Ohnaka, I want to see him in live action. Maz Kanata, I want to see her in live action. I think I just prefer live action content over animated anyway. Especially if it's a show like Star Wars Pirates. I feel as though it's going to be harder to draw an audience with an animated show. Especially called Star Wars Pirates. Yeah. 100K is coming. Your cup will filleth over. Yes, so if you guys don't know, once we hit 100,000 subscribers, I made this promise a long time ago, I will be dumping this whole entire cup filled to the brim of water on my head. Now that I made that promise probably 8 months ago, 9 months ago. It's kind of coming close to reality here. And I'm getting cold feet. I'm going to do it. I'll do it, chat, for you guys. You know I will. But it's getting closer, and I'm getting nervous, okay? Okay. But yeah, I made that promise a long, long time ago. And by the way, we just hit 88,000 subscribers today. 88,000, which is absolutely insane. So I cannot appreciate you guys more for hitting that subscribe button. It's very, very generous, and I appreciate it. Oh, and if you guys are not yet in the Discord, there's a link in the description below to a Discord called The People Who Love Star Wars. Go join that Discord right now. Okay. I appreciate it, guys. I appreciate the celebration in the chat. I do. I really, really do. You guys might make me cry, you know? You might actually. Once we hit 100,000 subscribers. By the way, when we do get close, you're going to have to be on watch, because once we get to like 98, 99,000, we're going to have to do a live watch party to count it down. We're doing it live, chat. We're doing it live. I certainly hope that it's not in the middle of the night. That would really suck. That would suck massive. Yeah, you know. So I'm hoping it's during the day. But yeah, we're going to definitely do a countdown stream for that, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Kay says, you don't want them to rush it. It has to be a golden script. Okay, I agree with that, Kay. You don't want to rush the Rey movie. You don't want to rush any Star Wars project for that matter. But they have a date they have to stick to. They have something they need to accomplish by a specific date. December 17th, 2026, an untitled Star Wars movie is going to drop. And it's most likely going to be the Rey movie. Yeah. Aaron says, I want Lucasfilm to take all the time they need to make a cohesive and impactful film as possible. Again, Aaron, like I just said to Kay, they don't have that. They have 2 years. Over 2 years. Right now. 2 years. That should be enough time. But right now, it doesn't feel like enough time, especially with Stephen Knight and his busy schedule. Are they going to go get another writer? Are they going to get a third writer for this movie? Because he wasn't the first one. Damon Lindelof was. The guy who did The Watchmen and all that and did Lost. He was the original writer for this Rey movie. He got dropped. They brought in Stephen Knight, who's even a better name to me. Are they going to drop him too? I don't know. They don't have to. I know the scheduling of theaters and stuff, but it would be wiser not to rush it. I agree with that. And you don't have to have 2 Star Wars movies in 2026, but they did set a release date. And that release date has not changed. We don't truly know what's going on behind the scenes with this Rey movie, so it's hard to just speculate. But if it starts filming in early 2025, they're perfectly fine. They're perfectly fine. They have plenty of time to figure it out. They got over a year, pretty much 2 years at that point. 2 years to do it. And that's plenty of time, you know? Plenty of time. Matt, what's up? Says, missed the Outlaw streams? Outlaw streams were a blast, I must say. They were quite fun. I love playing Star Wars games. I hope we get more. We talked about Jedi 3 earlier this week. I made a full-on video about it. I can't wait for that game to drop. But it seems like right now there's no game on the horizon for 2025. But so far, over the last 2 years, they've gone a Star Wars game every year. So if we can get another Star Wars game announced this year, coming out next year, that I wouldn't be opposed to it. I wouldn't be opposed to it. Yeah. Yeah. Shnikes. Just scroll down to the bottom. Where was I? Oh. Dr. Neko says, didn't new Jedi Order script writer just open his own production studio to write his own movie/show? Are you talking about the Peaky Blinders movie? Yeah, I don't know if he opened his own production studio, but he is making that movie sort of by himself, or not by himself, but you know what I mean. He's doing it by himself. Another Mike who loves Star Wars says, trying to watch my college football team at the same time as the chat, and damn it, Mike, I've muted my game just for you. Well, I appreciate that. That's very, very generous. What is your college team? Who is your college team, I should say? I don't watch college football much. I do watch the NFL, I will say that. I don't really watch too much college football, though. So, I don't have a preference. But, yeah. Oh, you follow Virginia? Nice. Virginia must be pretty good. I don't know anything about them, but, yeah. They must be. That guy B, what's up, says, Pirates are awesome, LOL. They are awesome. And to see a whole show about them, if it is, in fact, Hondo and Maz, I'd be fully down for it. I would be fully down for that. Yeah. I'm not by boat? You're on a boat and watching my live stream? What the hell? What is everybody doing while watching the live stream? Are you actually on a boat? We got somebody watching college football and somebody on a boat? What the hell? Supernova, what's up, Supernova? It's been a while. It says, I haven't watched Star Wars since The Bad Batch. So, you just haven't watched The Acolyte? What? Yeah. Okay. I appreciate all the good cuts, Fallen Orders. I really, really do. Oh my God. Somebody's picking up dog poop while watching the stream. What the hell's going on? Blue milk all over my head? No, it's going to be water. I'm not pouring blue milk on my head. It'll be sticky for the rest of the stream. Yeah, that's not happening. Blue milk. Come on. Anthony says, Mike, I would guess that with Skeleton Crew as a live-action miniseries featuring the pirate nation and the criminal underworld, that Star Wars Pirates may be an animated companion. That would make sense. But if you're going to make an animated show based off of any of the shows that you already have in existence, it wouldn't make sense to do it off of Skeleton Crew. Now, this could be something even more crazy. The sort of leaking of this title of Star Wars Pirates could mean that they're throwing their eggs in the basket of Skeleton Crew. They have confidence that Skeleton Crew will be a big success, which hopefully it is. Other than this news that we got a few days ago, we don't know much about this show. We know pirates are going to be pretty involved heavily now, but and Jude Law is going to be playing this new kind of Jedi, but we don't know anything else about it. So if they're throwing all their eggs in this basket of Skeleton Crew and pirates and Star Wars, this show must be pretty damn good. It must be, from the people who are creating it and looking at it from Dave Filoni's perspective, from Kathleen Kennedy's perspective, it must look pretty damn good. If you're going to make a full-on spin-off animated show about pirates and Star Wars based off of Skeleton Crew. Now, a conversation could have been had where, what's up, Ben? Where maybe they made Skeleton Crew, they talked about the importance of pirates in Star Wars, and then they were like, okay, let's do a full-on project about specifically pirates. That could have happened. But we just don't know until we see it, I guess. I'm hoping Skeleton Crew is going to be really good. Hopefully. Hoping for the best. But if they're really going to put all those eggs in that basket, it seems like a weird basket to put all your eggs in. You know? You already have The Mandalorian, which is a massive success. To put off a spin-off animated show or even a spin-off show about something else, it seems like The Mandalorian would be your best bet, you know? Yeah. Animation is cheap, not a huge risk. It's not cheap per se. It's cheaper than live action. It's definitely not as big as a risk because most of your negative fake fans, most of those negative people out there, they don't watch the animated stuff. You see a lot less negativity out there amongst the Star Wars fans who talk about the Bad Batch or talk about the Clone Wars or Rebels or Tales of the Jedi or Tales of the Empire. It's a lot less negativity because those negative people just are grifters for money and they only really care about stuff that will make them money, and animation is not that. So yeah, it's not as big as a risk for sure. But animation is some of the best storytelling in Star Wars. I mean, Clone Wars, Rebels, those are some of the best stories ever told in Star Wars. I still think Rebels is the most underrated series ever. And it might be the best one. You know? Another Mike who loves Star Wars says, it's crazy how quickly your subscribers are climbing. I know, right? You're going to be a millionaire? Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah, we are not very close to that. No, not very close. When the super chats just aren't rolling in, you know. I mean, what are we going to do? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, we are definitely not close to that. But yes, the subscribers are climbing very, very quickly. I mean, the shorts are doing very, very well. Our video on Wednesday is doing very, very well. Live streaming numbers are pretty consistent as of late. It can't complain. Definitely cannot complain. Yeah. 30 million versus 180 million is kind of cheap. Yes, it is, but $30 million is not no money. $30 million is a lot of money. Obviously, in comparison to live action, it's a lot cheaper. I'm not arguing with you there. But yeah. TWSS. I don't know what that means. I'm usually awake in the middle of the night. There you go, John. There you go. Kay says they don't have to. Oh, sorry. We already read that. BoJack Horseman in a Star Wars movie? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Missed the Outlaw streams? Yeah, me too. Oh, another Mike who loves Star Wars with a very generous $5 holla. I appreciate that. After I just complained about no super chats, I appreciate it. Says, on your way to $1 million. I'll put it in the bank. Don't you worry about that. Says, but because of inflation, you'll still be mid. Well, thanks. Thanks, Mike. Great name, by the way. Yeah. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Okay. Jeez. Making me choke over here. TWSS is that's what she said. Damn it. Why didn't I get that? Why didn't I get that? I think Knight is dropping out himself. He could be. That's the thing. Stephen Knight could be dropping out of the Rey movie. That's absolutely possible. And it wouldn't be because he doesn't want to work on Star Wars. It would be because he's got prior commitments. Like Peaky Blinders to him is more important, you know? Yeah. Yeah. I'm on a couch with 2 big dogs, living the dream. That is living the dream. That's awesome. You got to commit, Mike. God damn it. Blue milk. Nah. I'll make a deal with you guys. Come the time of the 100K live stream, if on that live stream we get $100 in super chats, it's not a crazy, impossible goal. We've gotten over $100 in super chats in the live stream before, have we? I think so. $100 in super chats. If we can get $100 in super chats in that celebration 100K live stream, I'll put blue milk in the cup instead of water. I'll do it. I'll do it. Oh, the things I do for you guys. Okay. I'm at home with a dog and a cat, hanging out with the Super Troopers. That's awesome. That's awesome. The last time I was riding a horse listening to you, that is insanely cool. That is insanely cool. Could I get a horse for the 100K live stream? Maybe not. That guy B, what's up, says, I'm not sure where I've heard this, but I've heard that Skeleton Crew is supposed to be the Goonies-ish show set in a Star Wars universe. And as a big Goonies fan, I'm 100% down for that. Yeah, it's supposed to be like Goonies meets Star Wars. That's kind of what it's been described to be. So yeah, that's kind of what it is. It's Goonies meets Stranger Things meets Star Wars meets E.T. Like it's all that stuff kind of wrapped into the Star Wars universe. And I mean, Goonies is an iconic movie. So anything like that in Star Wars, I'm fully down for. Did you guys hear that they might be making a Goonies 2 and bringing back like the original cast? That would be insane. That would be quite crazy. Yeah. It would be quite crazy. Chris, what's up? Says, hey, Mike, how's your day going? Today, I went to see Beetlejuice. Nice. And it wasn't what I thought. Oh, I didn't beat the classic one. I didn't, yeah. It never beats the classic one. Yeah, usually those sequels that come out years and years later don't really beat the classic ones. There's a few exceptions to that rule. I mean, Revenge of the Sith is one of them. No, but yeah, usually when they make a sequel years and years and years later, it doesn't live up to the original, you know? But that's cool, and I'm doing good. How are you? Freak Zeke, what's up? Says, it's space pirates. It's the space pirate life for me. It would be cool to see. I mean, Hondo in live action in Skeleton Crew might hype a lot of people up to see more pirates in Star Wars. A story about Maz Kanata and how she's been sort of friends with Han for quite a while. How she acquired Luke Skywalker's lightsaber. Like, those are stories that fans want to see. Even if you're not a fan of the sequel trilogy, you'd still probably want to see that story told. So, yeah. Yeah. This is a random question. Obviously, you don't have to answer it, but is YouTube your full-time job? It's a great question. I mean, no, but we're getting close, I think. Hopefully. Sometime soon, that's the dream, you know? That's the dream. As long as you guys keep watching, I'll keep doing it. And if we could get it to be the full-time thing, that would be amazing. And feel free to ask questions like that, because I'm fully open about shit like this, you know? Yeah, no? Yeah, it's not, but I'm hoping it can be. hoping it can't be. Damian Leon just confirmed that Terrifier 4 is in the works. Terrifier 4. I don't even know what Terrifier 1, 2, and 3 are. Let's look it up. Terrifier 1, 2, and 3. Oh, it's a horror movie. That's why. I'm not a big horror fan. That's creepy. Let's, nope. No, thank you. No, thank you. Okay. Where were we? Okay, let's talk about, shall we, this. So this is coming from Screen Rant. There's a new story out there about Anakin and Obi-Wan. Did you guys know this? It kind of came in under the radar. Nobody was really talking about it, but there's a new story about Anakin and Obi-Wan, Master and Apprentice, that was just released. Give me a one to chat if you knew about this. Did you guys know about this? Did you guys hear about this? Because this is truly...
This is where the fun begins.
Let's read this article, shall we? Yeah, see, like, it went completely under the radar. I didn't even hear about this either. Let's read this. A surprise new Anakin and Obi-Wan Star Wars story just released today. This was published 2 days ago, though. Star Wars has debuted a surprising new story about Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi. A story set after the Phantom Menace. Oh, it's on the screen, okay. After the Phantom Menace and before Attack of the Clones, when Anakin is still a Jedi Padawan. So it's in between that time period of Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones, training with his Jedi Master. While many stories in Star Wars canon follow Anakin and Obi-Wan between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, called The Clone Wars, including the Clone Wars animated series and novel Brotherhood by Mike Chen, there are not as many stories in the 10-year gap between The Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones. So, The Clone Wars is a 7-season show. There's books. There's all this stuff about that Clone Wars in between Episode 2 and Episode 3 time period. It's not a long one. I believe that's only like 2 or 3, maybe 4 years long. This time jump between Episode 1 and Episode 2 is 10 years. And there's really not many stories told in that time period, but we just got one. A story written by Brian Q. Miller and narrated by Kevin Kemp is called Padawan's Pride, and has been released via Audible. I don't know if it's only on Audible, but yeah. It follows Anakin and Obi-Wan infiltrating the underground pod racing circuit to find a rebel spy who is believed to be a prisoner of the crime boss running the illegal operations. With Anakin posing as a pod racer and Obi-Wan posing as his attendant, the duo's relationship is tested in new ways in this new adventure that takes place 3 years after The Phantom Menace. So Anakin is posing as a pod racer. A pod racer like he was in The Phantom Menace, but they're undercover to try and get this prisoner free from a crime boss, sounds like. So what does pod racing pride, or Padawan's Pride, mean for Star Wars? Padawan's Pride is set in the most important period of Anakin's life that has gone largely unexplored thus far in the Star Wars canon. Based on the cover of Padawan's Pride, which shows Anakin wielding a blue lightsaber, he has presumably completed building his own lightsaber at this point in his training, and has gone through the gathering ritual, which is getting your kyber crystal for your lightsaber. We saw this in the Clone Wars, that whole stuff. In this way, and in others, Anakin will have made significant progress in his training over the last 3 years, but he will still face certain struggles. Yeah, gathering ritual in season 5. Does it show? It doesn't even show the cover. Oh, is this the cover? No, that's not the cover. Hang on. Let me find the cover of this for you guys. Padawan's Pride. This is the cover. Oops. This is the cover. It's only on Audible. This isn't it that my head is blocking it, but it says only from Audible on the bottom corner. It's only a Audible book form, but you see here, he's got his blue lightsaber that he crafts for episode 2, and it looks like a lot like Jake Lloyd. That's really cool. But it's 3 years after the Phantom Menace, and you got, of course, the mullet in full form there. But let's keep reading. Oh, whoops, wrong thing. He will still be missing his mother, Shmi Skywalker, who has not been seen in who he has not seen in 3 years, and will not see again for another 7. At 12 years old, he'll be testing the boundaries of his relationship with Obi-Wan, and will be pushing those boundaries further during the mission that requires Obi-Wan to pretend to be his attendant. This will create more tension between them during their covert and high-stakes mission to rescue a captive rebel spy. Oh, a prisoner, captive rebel spy from the criminal underworld, and will prove further insight into the earlier years of their relationship. So it's just telling more about the story of Obi-Wan and Anakin during this time period that hasn't been told, or hasn't been explored, I should say. Yeah. Padawan Pride is a wonderful surprise that presents a possibility for more Star Wars audiobooks being unexpectedly released in the future. So this dropped. It just dropped and nobody talked about it. After 3 hours and 53 minutes, Padawan's Pride is at 3 hours and 57 minutes. Padawan's Pride is shorter than the standard Star Wars novel. Any further surprise audiobooks releasing will likely also tend to be on the shorter side, while full-length stories will be the upcoming High Republic novels in the Reign of the Empire trilogy that will continue to be announced and marketed ahead of time. So this was just dropped on Audible. Just a surprise dropping on Audible, as many of you in the chat didn't even hear about it. So that's pretty cool. A story about Anakin and Obi-Wan on Audible, only on Audible, that just surprisingly dropped. So it's possible that there's other stories like this out there currently being worked on, which is pretty cool, and it allows for more story to be told in that time period that hasn't really been explored much at all. That's pretty cool. That's pretty damn cool if I do say so myself. But what do we think, chat? What do we think? What do we think? John says, "Oh, come on. Sure you can complain. It just costs $300 an hour for someone to listen to you doing so? What? What do you mean? It costs $300 an hour to listen to me complain for an hour? Hey, that's a deal right there. That's a discounted price. It's kind of like Simba's Pride. Yeah, kind of. Kinda. I don't suppose you could get Chopper to pour the cup of water on your head? No, but I might have a special guest. Emphasis on might have a special guest to pour it on my head. Yeah. Do the blue milk shirtless, less laundry, less cleanup after. I'll think about it. No. I've always wondered if they would cover the time period between the Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones. Yeah, I mean, some fans want a animated show in this time period. Some fans want just some other stories in this time period. But a surprise dropping of an only Audible book is kind of weird, don't you think? Don't you think? Brad, what's up? Padawan's Pride might be a trigger to trolls. He's doing Pride now? Oh, my. Yeah. Maybe in 5 years, the audiobook will be available for free on YouTube. Maybe. Audible is like a monthly subscription thing, right? You get it free with Prime or something like that? I know I have it. I just don't really use it much. Yeah. So if you have Amazon Prime, I think you get it for free. Or you get like a certain amount of credits for free or something. Yeah. Yeah. Special guest is Hayden Christensen to dump the water on my head. Imagine. Hayden, if you're watching, and we know that you are, don't you just want to dump this entire cup of water on my head? No. Not that kind of special guest. That would be legendary, but no, not that kind of special guest. Oh, you guys want to see something cool? You want to see something cool? I got this from a close, dear friend of mine. This is called The Story of Star Wars from the original soundtrack, and it is a record from, whoops, upside down. 20th Century Fox, both sides. Put it back in there. It is a record from the original movie. This is from 1977. This is from the original movie, 1977, as you can see on the back. This is the skate pod. Comes with a picture book. Whoa. Look at this. All the characters and pictures. Multiple pages. Pretty damn cool. So I played it. I have a record player, even though I look like I'm 5. I played it on my record player. Gotta take nice care of it. It's from 1977. Played on my record player, and it's literally a guy just narrating the story of Star Wars to the soundtrack of Star Wars. It's pretty cool. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Just thought I'd let you in on a little behind the scenes type deal. I got a shit ton of Star Wars stuff that, like, obviously all of it doesn't fit on the screen, but that is one of them. Yeah. You had that? That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. That's awesome. Imagine if they remade the holiday special with Hayden and Ewan as stars of it. That would be funny. But no, they keep the holiday special pretty secretive, you know? That's awesome. That's so cool. That's pretty cool. Okay, we talked about that. We talked about that. We talked about that. We talked about that. Let's do this. Let's do this, shall we? All right, let's go. Let's switch our gears back to the topic at hand, and that is Skeleton Crew in this Star Wars Pirates show. So, with the fact of Maz Kanata, with the fact of Maz Kanata coming into live action again for the first time in a long time, it's possible that we could see some other familiar faces that could have existed in the Star Wars universe. Wait, what? Star Wars Nerd. I don't know if I believe you. Star Wars Nerd just said, Mike, I have a friend who works at Lucasfilm, and they told me that they're working on a Darth Vader show is in production. I don't believe you. For some reason, I don't believe you. A Darth Vader show has always been a fan favorite request. Who doesn't want a Darth Vader show following any point in his life? It would be awesome. But I don't know. It sounds a little too good to be true, honestly. Yeah. Anthony says, Mike, I had this. Damn it. I had this storybook of Star Wars in cassette/book form. Loved it. We got it in 1978. The narrator is Rosie Lee Brown. Rosie Lee Brown. That's cool. That's awesome. Old stuff like that is awesome. I got the whole original trilogy as VHS tapes behind me. Got a lot of cool stuff off screen over there. Got a picture of me and Hayden Christensen up there. Pretty cool. Star Wars stuff is awesome. Okay, let's end this poll and start up a new one, shall we? By the way, let's see where this ended at. Let's see where it ended at. Wait. The math is mathing, chat. The math is mathing! Oh my God.
This is where the fun begins.
75% of you do want this Star Wars Pirates show, and 25% of you do not. But that math is mathing for the first time in quite a long time. The math is mathing. That's pretty crazy. Okay. I want to let you guys in on a little sneak peek here. I'm going to let you guys in on a little sneak peek here. Okay? So last stream, we talked about we talked about this. You guys remember this? Last stream we talked about this. My what if Star Wars story that I'm working on. Now, there's a very, 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 very small chance that I get this finished by tomorrow. Very small chance. Like, extremely small. Like, think of the smallest thing you could ever think of. The atom. What's smaller than electron, a proton? Think smaller than that. Very small chance that I get this out by tomorrow. However, it has been recorded. It's being edited right now. And I'm going to give you guys a sneak peek. I mean, if you want. Only if you guys want. Oh, only if you want. Only if you want. I mean, we don't have to watch the sneak peek. If you guys don't want the sneak peek, we don't have to watch the sneak peek, you know? That's fine. No, that's fine. It's fine, chat. It's fine. No, it's fine. Whatever you guys want, okay? No sneak peek. Screw you guys, you know? Screw you guys. Pulled for the sneak peek. All right, fine. We'll pull it up. Do you want a sneak peek at the what if? Yes or no? Let's see it, chat. Hopefully this comes out tomorrow. I'm going to work my ass off tonight to get this out for you guys tomorrow, but it's very highly unlikely. Very highly unlikely. I would love to get it out by tomorrow. Sunday's a great day to release it. So many people are home. Like, it would be perfect. I don't know. I'm going to try. I'm going to try my best. It doesn't look like you guys want the sneak peek in the chat. I don't know what's going on here. I mean, we could just end the stream early or something. I don't know. Oh, you guys want it? You guys want it? Oh, okay. Ask and you shall receive. All right, so let's do this here. This is my editing studio here. So I'm going to make it as big as possible for you guys. Pause. And let's give you guys a sneak peek. Is the volume going to be pretty? I don't know. We'll see.
Years ago, you served my father in the Clone Wars. Now he begs you to help him in his struggle against the Empire. I regret that I am unable to present my father's request to you in person, but my ship has fallen under attack, and I'm afraid my mission to bring you to Alderaan has failed. I have placed information vital to the survival of the rebellion into the memory systems of this R2 unit. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
Wait, what if this never happened? What if Darth Vader never caught Princess Leia at the beginning of A New Hope? How would this change the story of Star Wars? Would Luke Skywalker still be the hero? Would good still triumph over evil? What if Princess Leia made it to Obi-Wan on Tatooine? That's it. That's all you get. That's all you get for now, chat. You gotta wait till it comes out itself. That it gets me so excited every time I watch that. Just the opening of Leia in her speech to Obi-Wan. Oh, it's so good. I actually had to go in and alter a lot of it. Long story, but I just had to, I forgot about Bail Organa and the fact that he would still be alive at the time because he doesn't get blown up on Alderaan. But yeah, that is what I've been working on quite a bit for the last couple days. For the last couple of weeks. So that's kind of the deal. That's your sneak peek for now. And I'll get hard at work with that. It's a lot of fun. It's really cool. It's a cool story for sure. What if Leia made it to Obi-Wan on Tatooine? Luke's not involved much because he doesn't need to be. R2 never makes it to him. The Jedi never capture Leia. How that affects the story. Bail Organa's still alive, how that affects the story. Leia's now going to train with Obi-Wan instead of Luke, how that affects the story. It's really cool. It's really cool. Right now, it's probably about 15 to 20 minutes long. It leaves on a cliffhanger. It's awesome. I'm having a blast doing it. So it's sort of the big first ever what if. We've done what ifs on the channel before. They've been small. They're like whatever. I did them a long time ago. They're probably horrible. But this is the first big one that I'm really getting into quite a bit. So yeah. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait to get it out. Can't wait. Another Mike who loves Star Wars says, intriguing by Newsweek. Captivating, says Robert Ebert. And don't miss this, says Variety. Yeah, so, You know, the big news headlines, the big magazines, if magazines still exist, they say don't miss this, you know. So watch out for this. Hopefully it comes out tomorrow. A very small chance it comes out tomorrow. But if not tomorrow, I don't know if I'm going to wait till next Sunday, which would be, I just teased the hell out of you guys because you'll have to wait a whole another week. Or I might just do it on Monday. We're going to see. We're going to see. Okay? Hopefully it'll come out to an 100 on Rotten Tomatoes. Hopefully the audience score is in a 13% on. Talking about Rotten Tomatoes. Did you guys see this? Hang on. Did you guys see this? Talk about Rotten Tomatoes. Did you guys see what Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy has on Rotten Tomatoes? Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy was fun. It was a lot of fun. If you watched it, you probably had a fun time with it. I don't know anybody who said a single thing bad about it. Not a single thing. But this blew my mind. This blew my freaking mind. It currently stands at a 100. At a 100 on Rotten Tomatoes. The audience score is a 86, which is also very high. Even like I said though, like the people who are hating just to hate are mostly about the live action stuff. The animated stuff usually gets higher stuff. Like they're not going to come in and review bomb it. 100. I understand that it's a fun time. I had a blast with this show. I really enjoyed the show. But a 100? I don't think so. Now, it's a good sign, obviously, to see a 100. Usually critics are more critical of this kind of stuff. But a 100? That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. I wonder if there's any... Can we read any of these? There's only 8. Okay. Can we read any of these? I don't know if we can. Nope, we can't, I guess. I guess not. Season 1, it also says, I think there will be a second season of this for sure. Just the way they ended it with the Landalorian and stuff. There's probably going to be a second season, but yeah. Yeah. 100. 100. Absolutely crazy. Yeah. And thank you guys for the kind words about the what if. It's exciting. That's just a little sneak peek. That's just the intro. Still gotta add like effects and finish editing it because that's only I've only gotten probably 2-3 minutes in and it's a 15-20 minute long video. So we're still working. We're still working hard over here. Yeah. I need a Misa gonna hurt Yusa on a t-shirt. I wonder if I get copyrighted for that. See, this creating merch is really difficult. That's why we're having such a hard time with the merchandise store, setting it up and just creating merch itself, because it's hard to create something that isn't copyrighted. Certain names in Star Wars are copyrighted, or most names in Star Wars are copyrighted. You can't make a Darth Vader shirt that just says Darth Vader or the picture of Darth Vader. You can't do that. So you have to be creative with it and come up with something interesting or cool. We can come up with, of course, the Good Cups Follow Orders, which is in the works, but I'm looking for other stuff as well. Yeah. And yeah, iHod just says, can't wait, take your time, Mike. Again, I want to make it the best it can be, so I don't really want to push it out by tomorrow. That's why I say a very, 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 very small chance that it comes out by tomorrow. But hey, if I work my ass off tonight, it could still be the best it could be and come out by tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah. Rebuild the Galaxy was fun. It was absolutely fun. Star Wars Lego anything is a can't miss. The humor is epic, especially the Lego games in-game stuff. Yeah, Lego games are fun. The only problem I had with the Skywalker Saga game, Lego Skywalker Saga, was that it wasn't multiplayer. I just wanted a multiplayer game. Time to order pizza? Ooh, let's get some pizza. Should we get some pizza, chat? I think we should get some pizza. By the way, this poll is another one where the math is going to be mathing because 100% of you said yes. That's awesome. That's awesome. Let's start review bombing it now. James, what's up? Says Mike, you would know this. Oh, you would know this. Why did the First Order destroy Hosnian Prime in The Force Awakens and call it the heart of the Republic? I thought it was Coruscant. So shouldn't they have destroyed Coruscant? That's a great question. That is a great question. And there's actually a two-part answer to this. In canon story for it and a outside of Star Wars story for it. Yes, J.J. Abrams wanted to destroy Coruscant. It's been sort of publicly known that J.J. Abrams is not a big fan of the prequel trilogy. He's more of an original trilogy guy. And he wanted to destroy Coruscant. But actually, executives, higher-ups at Lucasfilm didn't let him. So the reason that it's Hosnian Prime and not Coruscant outside of Star Wars is because J.J. Abrams wanted to destroy Coruscant, and they wouldn't let him. In Star Wars explanation is that the capital of the New Republic changes from Coruscant to Hosnian Prime at some point in between the original trilogy and the sequel trilogy. I don't really remember why. We could look it up. Let's look it up because I don't really recall why. Why did the New Republic change its capital in Star Wars? Okay, here we go. Star Wars finally explains why the New Republic has returned to Coruscant in The Mandalorian. Oh, what? Oh, so this explains why it is on Coruscant in the... Okay. Coruscant has the necessary infrastructure to run the galaxy? Oh, wait, no, this just explains... No, that's not what I'm looking for. We'll put it this way. Why is Hosnian Prime the capital of the New Republic? All right, let's see. Wikipedia. Ooh. Sorry. Okay. Hosnian Prime was the planet in the Hosnian system of the core worlds located along... Okay, let's get to the good part here. New Republic era. Imperial Captain Tirsa Kirill. Sure. Why did it turn into the capital? Mm-hmm. Okay, here we go. In 28 ABY, 28 years after the Battle of Yavin, Hosnian Prime had been voted the capital of the New Republic and hosted individuals from many species, including humans, Wookiees, and Gungans. By that stage, two major factions had emerged in the Senate. Okay. It's just, I guess it was voted it. Oh, interesting. So the two different factions that emerged were people who backed Senator Leia Organa, or actually didn't back her and thought she was the daughter of the evil Darth Vader, and people who did back her. That's crazy. But why did it go to... Hang on. We can get to the bottom of this. And not Coruscant. According to Lucasfilm Story Group member Pablo Hidalgo, representative of Lucasfilms were... What? They didn't want Coruscant. It was originally planned to appear in the project besides The Force Awakens. As a compromise, Hosnian Prime was created to fill the role for the New Republic. But why? I guess it was just voted as the capital, but I don't know why they went away from Coruscant. That's the problem. I don't know. I guess the answer is I don't know. Okay. Oh, another Mike who loves Star Wars with a very generous $2 holla says, inspiration of Chewie. You're welcome. Oh, sorry. Impression of Chewie. Impersonation of Chewie. You're welcome. Okay. I got a Chewie. I got you with the Chewie. Here we go. I appreciate the super chat. I really, really do. Yeah, there you go. If Lucasfilm was watching, I want a Luke and Ben in Jedi Temple show. I agree with that, Officer Murdoch. I agree with that. That guy B, what's up? Interesting. That guy B says Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga had couch co-op at least. Co-op, yes, couch co-op at least, which was nice. That's true, but it wasn't multiplayer. I wanted to play across online platforms. James says, thanks for answering my question, Mike. Also, fun fact about a main character, Kaz from Star Wars Resistance, is he was from Hosnian Prime and witnessed his home planet get destroyed at the end of Season 1. I did not know that because I didn't watch that show, but I do know who Kaz is, just from research, I guess. Yeah. Thank you, Mando United. I appreciate it. Brett says, because someone didn't want it to be Coruscant, that's why they changed it. Yeah, I know that, but there's got to be some sort of in-universe explanation to that, you know? Yeah, no? Yeah, no? All right, I think we're going to get on out of here. We went over quite a bit on today's stream, if I do say so myself. Huge shout out to Darth Raccoonar, Darth Plagueis Lives, and another Mike who loves Star Wars. Great name. For the very generous super chats. I appreciate you guys. Hopefully, this Star Wars pirate show, whatever it may be, is going to be quite a good one. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see if whether it'll be live action or not, whether it'll be Hondo Ohnaka or not, Maz Kanata or not. We don't know. But I guess only time will tell. Until then, smash a freaking like on the stream if you have not yet. Hit that subscribe and hit that bell so you get notified every time I post a video. And my pretty face will show up in the recommended feed of yours. Watch out for the What If tomorrow. Hopefully I can get it out to you guys by tomorrow. I'm going to go work my ass off to go get it done tonight. But we'll see how far we get. We shall see. Hoping for the best. But until then, may the Force be with you. Always. Oh yeah, what a great stream. What a great show. You guys are the absolute best. I appreciate every last one of you so much more than you will ever know. Lee, you missed it. Lee, you missed it. It's all right. You can watch it on the playback. I appreciate you guys so much more than you will ever know. I hope you have a great rest of your evening, great rest of your lives, and good night, everybody.